Welcome to Breaking Par with Bernard Sheridan, the golf podcast that interviews the best and brightest minds in the golf industry. Now, here's your host, Bernard Sheridan.
Jason, welcome to Breaking Par. Thanks so much for being with us here today.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
So tell us first, what we always like to ask all of our guests is the very first time that you picked up a golf club. When did that happen?
It's pretty funny that we're having this conversation today. So the first time that I picked up a golf club was at 19 years old. I had a friend of mine that we used to hang out all the time, calls me up one day, hey, do you want to play golf? And I've never played golf before. I never thought about playing golf. I was a baseball player. So I said, yeah. I remember seeing a set of clubs in my garage that were my father's. And that's what I'm saying. It's kind of funny that it's today. Today is actually the anniversary of my father passing away. So
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. It was a while ago. So now that gets brought up in conversation. So I asked him, do you mind if I bring out your golf clubs? And he said, they are yours. You have them. Don't worry about it. I'm never playing the game again. So, of course, I had to ask why. He's so adamant and laughing about I'm never playing this game. And I don't remember him ever playing. So he said he wasn't very good, but he liked to have fun, and he'd go out and have fun with his friends, which seems to be, the life of golf. Most people aren't that great, but they have a fun time doing it. So he said he had a regular drive. He's in the middle of the fairway, and there was a tiny, thin little tree like 100 yards away from him, in the middle of the fairway, between him and the green. And he hit it dead on. And it's like, there's no way, it's like the width of a golf ball. And he hit it, and he basically walked away. He's like, that's it. I'm done. I'm never playing golf again. And he never picked up a golf club.
Holy moly. And I bet that if we asked him to hit that tree, he couldn't have hit it no matter how hard he tried.
No, not a chance. It's funny because the safest place for somebody to stand is at the hole. I mean, you're just not going to hit it. So, yeah, he could have tried 100 times. He would have never hit it if he tried.
That's funny.
Yep.
That's a funny story, I mean, it's and it's crazy how some people, it's just one thing that's going to make them say, you know what, and a lot of those guys are the guys who just do it for fun. They're not trying to get better or anything. They're just out there to have a good time. But then when things like that happen, it's like, hey, if I'm going to hit a tree that's the size of a golf ball, then, that's, and I'm not even trying to do that. It was the last thing I was trying to do. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Yep. So he stopped.
So what made you decide to move into this as a career?
So, I loved golf, and I'm okay, nothing great. I don't hold people up behind me. That's obviously one of my big things, is just keep moving. Even when I bring out beginners and they're scared to get on the course, I just tell them one thing, just listen to me. And if we're holding somebody up, you're going to pick up your ball, you're going to keep moving. And so that was it. So, but I love the game of golf. I have a great time at it. I like to travel the world playing, and luckily with this business I can. But let's go back to actually 1990. And I had a career in marketing and advertising. My father owned the company, so I learned a lot about putting together magazines and selling advertising. So I decided that I wanted to start a golf company selling discounts. And the reason I started that is I went into Golfsmith one day, and I saw a book. I'm not going to speak about that book because I don't want to give them any marketing or any extra plugs, but I saw a book that did discounts. And I was like, I've golfed so far at this point for, almost 10 years, and I've never seen this. So I was getting sick of my job. I said, you know what? I'm going to start a company just like this, and I'm going to do better marketing. So I did that. I started it. It was called the Club Card, and ran it for 5 years. We started with 0 golf courses, ended up with 1,600 golf courses in 4 countries doing discounts to my members. And it was great, but I just kind of hit a plateau and just couldn't go any further. So we stopped. I did some other stuff over the next, X amount of years. And in 2012, I decided I wanted to get back into it. So I started this company with the Groupon model of daily deals, and you buy your voucher and you play golf in the next 3 months with our voucher, and extended it into golf products. And it's working, and we have a huge following, and we're doing great. And people like you hopefully getting our name out there some more, and we're going to do the same for you. So we just love doing the golf deals.
So, and what's the name of the company?
It's called More Golf Today. And our website, it's the exact same name. Everything, website, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, everything is moregolftoday.com. And every week we come up with brand new deals on Mondays, usually 1 or 2 golf course deals and 2, 3, or 4 golf product deals. And it's simple. You go onto the site, make the purchase, and your product gets shipped directly to your door. It's great.
Now, is it similar to Groupon where you say like it's a half price off, or how exactly does that work? And what are the deals that you usually run, and are they consistently the same? Like Groupon, I know it's like a half off. So if let's say, because years ago I did Groupon, and at that time my lesson rate was $90 an hour. So then it was $45 for them to purchase that lesson as an introductory lesson, and then of course we got a part of that, and Groupon got a part of that. So so how does the deal work for you guys, and for actually well, first, how does it look like to the consumer, and then what about if we have a bunch of because we have a ton of professionals who listen to this show, and if they wanted to get involved with something like that, how does it work for them?
So the easiest way to describe us is really Groupon for golf. It's based on the exact same model, where, as I said, we have new deals that come up. The deals definitely vary in discounts. We've run stuff where it's free, and you just pay for shipping. We've done deals where it's a 25% off discount, but we do like to stay somewhere around the 40 to 60% off range. Again, it does vary. The deals we do definitely differ because we don't want to stay stagnant. We don't want the golfer to go on and every week they see the exact same deal.
Sure.
Because if you do that, it's just really not a deal. It's just what their price is.
Right.
So we don't also give 2 of the same types of products. So this week we're doing an Encore golf ball. It's one of the best golf balls I've ever played. Obviously I've played every golf ball that's around. I love the Bridgestone B330, obviously the Pro V, but the Encore Elixir ball is phenomenal. So we're doing a deal right now where it's normally $50 for a dozen. It's actually $40 for a dozen, but we're giving an extra $10 off a future sale on Encore Golf's website. So it's a $50 product. We're selling it for $35. So it's a 30% discount. It includes shipping. So we're also doing a pair of sunglasses, which are from Sundog, and those are 40% off. And we're doing a pair of shorts from 18 Greens, actually the best shorts I've ever worn. It's going to be hard to find me on a golf course without them. And they're 52% off. So we do like to change it up. Golf course deals definitely vary according to what time. We'll do winter deals, and it's going to be a huge discount. But if we do a deal in the spring, when golfers are coming back on the course, the discount's going to be a little bit less because there's more people going to the course as it is. So the golf course itself doesn't need to really blow out their inventory. So it definitely varies all the time, and the best idea is really just to sign up for our deal alerts, and we'll email the client 2 to 3 times a week with the different deals, and we also have different promotions we run. Best way to get our deal alerts is on our website, moregolftoday.com. On the right side, there's a spot that literally says sign up for our deal alerts. And you just put in your name and your email address, and we'll start emailing. As you also asked about companies such as yourself, golf instructors. If a golf instructor or a golf company or a golf course wants to be featured on our website, moregolftoday.com, at the bottom, there's a spot for featured company request. Simply fill that out and we'll call you, usually within a couple of hours, but if not, you'll get a call from us within 24 hours.
Okay, and then you guys work out a deal with that company or whoever, or that academy, and then they're featured 1 week, a certain week, on that deal, correct?
Correct. We'll try and set up a full year of deals where we'll feature them every few months, maybe every 3 to 4 months. Sometimes we'll feature it every 2 months. So, it just matters what the availability and what that product is. It also matters if it does well. And if it does well, we're going to be more inclined to feature that quite frequently. We ran a golf product deal for a dozen golf balls about a month ago, and we sold 700 dozen golf balls. So we're more inclined to run that deal as frequently as we can because people love that product. And we'll just speak with the company and run it throughout the year, see what we can do.
Yeah, I know for us, we're down here in Florida. So the time that we would want to run a deal is probably in season for the rest of the country, because our down season is more in the summer, whereas everybody else's up season is in the summer, and our up season is in the winter. So it's like, because January to May is really when we're the busiest, and when I want to say it's in full season down here in the Naples area. And I'm sure it's like that in parts of California and in Texas and places like that, where in the winter or Arizona, in the winter there's a lot of people that are going there, and in the summer there's not as many people going there. They're also kind of like leaving there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's all of those spots are exactly what you just said. Where you got Palm Springs in California, you have all of Arizona. And you've got a lot of Texas and Florida, where the summertime, it's so hot. Palm Springs, I don't know what the average temperature is, I can only guess, but it's a couple hours from it. I've been there many, many times. Summertime, you're looking at 110 degrees.
Right.
Same as Arizona. You can't give deals away. We worked with Arizona for a couple of years, and in the summertime, many of the golf courses are like, look, we're already discounting our tee time 75%, but we can't give any more off. And they can't even give it away. The courses are just empty. And you mentioned Florida. 2 years ago, actually last year, the summer of last year, we ran a sweepstakes. We gave away a trip to Florida, to St. Augustine. It was a 4-day package, and we did a $5 million hole-in-one contest at the Hall of Fame, and it was unbelievable. So we went out there, and there were 8 of us out there, 4 winners, and 7:30 in the morning, I'm out on the driving range, and I am sweating more than I've ever sweated in my entire life. Not only am I sweating, there are gnats all over me, and we had a great time, but those few little things, it's a reason that summertime or August in Florida, there's not many people on the golf courses. People want to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because you mentioned that, and I mean, since we're in Naples, August in Naples is not as bad as everybody thinks, because it's in Florida. But like with the gnats and stuff, we don't get a lot of gnats in Naples. Why, I really don't know. But there's not a ton of bugs flying around all the time in this area, in southwest Florida. And it does get pretty warm. I want to say that it's probably on average about 95 in August. The humidity is high, of course, but in the morning, it's really not bad at all until about 10 o'clock. So if you get out around 7:30, you can get in your round, and I want to say the last hour of your round, or the last 20 minutes of your round, you're going to really start to feel the heat. But before that, it's really not bad. I guess it must be because we're so close to the Gulf, and there's a breeze blowing all the time down here, that it's really not oppressive unless it's in the afternoon, which is kind of and I'm kind of surprised that there's not more people who take advantage, because all the rates down here are lower at that time of the year. And then if there's a deal like that, it's just like you're knocking it out of the park. I mean, you can spend like 4 days playing golf, probably, if they did a deal with you, for the price that it costs them for one round in season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And me personally, I love the first tee time. I want to set the pace for the course for the entire day. I don't want, the biggest thing now that everybody talks about is slow play. So if I can get out in front and play and finish my round, in 3 hours and 15 minutes, I kind of set the pace for the entire day. And I can tee off first. Don't worry about anybody in front of us. We can get back and I can go to work because I have my business to run. So I get to play golf and then come home. So people in Naples, they really should take advantage of that early time, and you also get away from the bugs. It's great. It definitely was different in St. Augustine. It was nasty at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah, it definitely can be. On the East Coast, there's certain spots that there's more humidity, and I don't know why. Whether it's maybe because it's coming off the Atlantic, and the way that the trade winds are. Off the Atlantic as opposed to off the Gulf, and the Gulf is a lot smoother as for water too. So it's I don't know. I prefer the Gulf side, but that's because I live here, and I've only been here for a couple of years. I'm originally from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But I love it down here. It's a great area, and of course, as we're taping this right now. We're just a week out from Hurricane Irma that just barreled through here, and yep. I was very fortunate that my home wasn't destroyed. I mean, I took very little damage, and we were very, very fortunate as the part where we are. But there's some parts that we're still waiting for electric to come back, and fresh water and things of that nature. So it was pretty trying down here, for sure.
Yeah, that's good. I was actually just about to ask about how you fared for that hurricane. How are the golf courses down there? Are they still just covered in water?
It's not as much. It depends on where the golf course is. It's not as much the water as it was down trees. Mm-hmm. And Tiburon, where I am, is actually opening the Gold Course tomorrow, which is basically, I want to say, a week after. Not even a week after, just about a week after Hurricane Irma came through, and they're ready to get back up and running. We'll be back tomorrow, and then essentially we're looking at a lot of the golf courses. The flooding wasn't too bad. The ones that were closer to the course, to the Gulf. And to the bay and things like that, Estero Bay, places like that, I'm sure have had a lot worse trouble. Bonita Springs got hit pretty bad with water, and Marco got hit pretty good with water. Those areas, but Naples was fortunate with the flooding. There's not quite as much flooding as there was in the majority of them. I actually live in Estero, on Stony Brook Golf Course, and they're still not open. They're hoping to open by the end of this week. And I did have a tree from the golf course come down and hit my lanai, but it didn't take my lanai out. It just took a few screens out, luckily. And and it did take one of my own trees that was on my property, and basically leveled it. It was a smaller tree, and it just took it out. Big oak tree fell, and it just took that tree out totally, and that's gone. That's a loss. But other than that, lost a little bit of flashing and some aluminum under the eaves at the peaks of the roof, and that's pretty much it. So I was very, very fortunate.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I get a lot of friends out there being in the golf industry, so a lot of people live in Florida. I've got family out in Florida, and now I have you, and everybody seemed to fare pretty well. Same thing as you're saying, not much damage. to their homes. The electricity obviously is an issue. The water's an issue. But everybody seemed to fare pretty well, so that's pretty good. And, you're talking about the golf course, and, to turn it into a pretty good spin, hey, losing those trees, that's going to increase my score. I'm going to hit better on those golf courses with all those trees gone. I'm not going to be hitting them. They're not going to be in the way. I don't got to drive over them. It might help the golf scores out in Florida.
Yeah, it might. I don't think that it's something that they would rather see happen. It's nice to see some mature trees on golf courses.
Yeah.
And
just putting a good spin on it for everybody.
Yeah, it's true. So I mean, it's I think too that the flooding issue. Thank God that the flooding issue wasn't that bad, because that's where it can do some serious damage to courses too.
Yeah.
Because it's tough to get grass to come back after it's sitting underwater for a couple of weeks.
That's right. Yeah. Well, hopefully everything is going to be all right. We'll obviously find out in the next couple of weeks when everything really kind of gets moving back to normal. But it's good. Everybody seems to be doing pretty well from it.
Yeah, Florida. I mean, really, God was watching over. He really was. I mean, it's he just kind of and it's funny too, because I actually left the state and was in Tennessee, and then went back to Pennsylvania for a while, and we're watching the Weather Channel, and I'm sure a lot of people who listen to this podcast watched it, and here I'm watching a guy in Estero, like essentially 3 miles from my house, standing there with like 125-mile-an-hour winds blowing and rain going sideways and visibility down to like a quarter mile, and amazed that they even allowed them to stand out there in that situation and report on things like that. To me, that was like crazy that they get out there and do that, but they do, and that's what they do. That's their job, and I guess they're thrill seekers. They enjoy it, just like guys who jump motorcycles or something and do flips. I mean, I would never do anything like that.
I have no interest in doing that. None. I get on skis. I go pretty fast on downhill skis, but yeah, I'm not leaving my feet. I'm not jumping stuff. I'm not interested in that. The biggest danger I have is hitting a golf ball over a ravine and going into the water.
Right.
That's my biggest thrill right now.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine with me too. That's enough thrill seeking for me too.
Yeah.
So again, most of these deals, they sign up online, and then is everything online, or is there like books or anything like that too?
No, everything is strictly online. So you sign up on moregolftoday.com, as I said, on the right side on the deal alerts. Every week we'll send you deals, and then when the deals come live, you just click on a little view deal button. You fill out the form, you buy it, and then all of the vouchers go in your account. So if you bought a golf course deal, you need to download that voucher and bring it to the golf course.
Okay.
But if you bought a product deal, you will get a voucher, but it's useless. It just sits in your account because we already know that you purchased it, and your deal is already processed when you buy it. So your product's going to get shipped directly to you. You don't have to do anything. You just buy it and go to your mailbox and pick up your golf product.
Yes, it sounds super convenient. And I mean, that's the great thing about the web, is it makes things so much easier to navigate and to get what you want when you want it. So you have a very special thing coming up for the Masters. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I know that all our listeners are going to be really excited about that.
Well, it's a bucket list, going to the Masters. Everybody wants to go. You want to hang out there for a couple of days. You want to walk the greens, or obviously not going to walk the greens, but you want to walk the grounds, see everything, Amen Corner, the entire show. It's unbelievable. I went last year. So we're the stupid company that's giving away a trip to the Masters. So we have a package for 2 people. You're going to get 3 nights hotel. It may be a house as well. Last year we shared a house. We had a gigantic home, and we shared it with the winners. So we'll set you up for 3 nights accommodations for you and a guest. We're also going to get you out to play golf for a day. We'll take care of it. You're also going to get 2 days at the Masters. You're going to get Friday, and you're going to get Sunday. Sunday obviously is the big day. So you're going to get 2 days at the Masters, 3 nights accommodations, a day of golf. You're going to get a huge prize pack. Last year's prize pack was unbelievable. We're going to try and increase it and even make it better for you. So all of our sponsors give product to us to give to you. What you're going to get from our sponsors, you're going to get Encore Golf, so you're going to get golf balls. Our main sponsor is Premier Irish Golf Tours. They're the company that's putting up the prize. They do trips all over the world. I just went to St. Andrews and played golf with them. It's unbelievable. And side note, my old course, St. Andrews round, was one of the best rounds I've ever had.
Nice.
It was unbelievable. So besides that, so we have Encore, we have Chef's Cut beef jerky, best beef jerky I've ever had. There's Amino Vital, Warrior Custom Golfs, 18 greens. We're probably working with Medicus again. It's just a huge prize pack, and you can enter as many times as you want. You get once a day, so once a day, but as many times as you want throughout that 3 months. The sweepstakes is going to run September 25th, so it's coming up. September 25th all the way through December 24th. We have a lot of platforms that we're going to run it on, but the best way to reach us and reach that is you go to our website, moregolftoday.com, look on the right side. There's going to be a banner that's going to be for the Masters sweepstakes. Simply click on that, fill out the form. You get to tell all your friends about it and you get bonus entries. You know, last year it was huge. This year it's going to be bigger, and we want to send, whether it's a stupid company, that we want to send you and a friend to the Masters. We're giving away a trip to the Masters, and not many people do it, and we're doing it. We want you to win. Again, you just simply go to moregolftoday.com. On the right side, you'll see the banner. Click it, fill it out, and come back every day and enter every day. And it could be you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, who the heck doesn't want to go to the Masters? I mean, it's. I think that even people who aren't golf fans, big golf fans, would love to go to the Masters, just because it's just such an event. It's, to me, it's outside of the World Series. It's the greatest of, and the Super Bowl. Yeah. You know, we're talking about the top 3 events in sports: the Masters, the Super Bowl, and the World Series. And to me, the Masters is definitely the ultimate.
It's, you know, I've been to all of those. I've been to a World Series down in San Diego. I saw Game 4 of the Yankees sweeping San Diego back in the 90s. I've been to 2 Super Bowls, and I've been to the Masters. The Masters is absolutely unbelievable. Everything's unbelievable. All of them are great. But the Masters, it's just so different going there and seeing everything, and the way it's run. There's no screaming. There's no, you watch other tournaments on TV and you get these people screaming, you know, get in the hole, or Baba Booey, and all these
yeah.
things that they're screaming. You can't even do that at the Masters. So when you can sit your chair down somewhere. You buy a little chair that they have there. So you buy your chair, you put it down, you put your business card or something in the back, and you literally walk away for 2 hours or 3 hours, and you come back and your chair's there, nobody's in it. You sit down. So we did that at Amen Corner, and they've got this security guy, and I can't wait to see him again. And he sits there really with his back turned to the crowd, and somebody yells. He turns around and knows exactly who it was. I don't know how he does it. It's like it's a superhero thing. He knows who's, and you see him walk over, and he's pissed, and he comes and tells you, you say it one more time and I'm kicking you out. Right? And then that guy's quiet, and everybody around him is quiet, and it's unbelievable. You hear little pins drop. It's so different than everything else I've ever been to, and I can't wait to get back. Everything they have is just top of the line. The people working there are all young. They're high school students, and they must go through this training that teaches them the respect and the happiness of being there, because every single kid, and they are kids, that works there is really the best employee that I've seen. And I would hire every single one of these kids to work for my company. It's unbelievable. And if you ever get a chance to go, you need to go. And I want to send you for free. So you might as well sign up with us so we could send you for free, because getting those tickets is tough.
Oh, I know. It's an awesome experience. I was fortunate enough to go in '05 when Tiger won with that chip in on 16, and
Nice.
it's amazing. And you can, when you walk on those grounds, you can feel the history in the air. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible.
It's also it's great going somewhere where every single person you see is ecstatic. Everybody's so happy. And the only other place I really saw that was St. Andrews when I was standing there getting ready to tee off. Was every person so excited? And it's the same feeling at the Masters that nobody cares about the lines or nobody cares about standing underneath the tree trying to get the best of you. Nobody cares about any of that stuff. All they care about is being there and being happy, and it's great.
Yeah, it's kind of like heaven.
I guess
once
I can
everybody
walk
gets
around
there,
that.
and they know that they can walk through that gate, they're going to be ecstatic,
Yeah.
and it's just that's the way it is at those places. And it almost feels like because it's not that easy to get there.
No.
When you do, that it's like heaven. I mean, it really is, and everything is everything that you dreamt it would be. It's that and more.
Yeah, you really don't know until you're there.
Yep.
And it was phenomenal. I mean, it's impossible to really show how great that this event is. Everybody sees it on TV. And a couple years ago, I didn't really have a favorite event on TV. It was always the Super Bowl, but in golf, I didn't really have a favorite event. I liked watching the tournaments and having a great time watching the majors. But then a few years ago, the Masters were coming. And on the Monday before, that Monday of the week, I started to get pretty excited about it. I couldn't wait. I started watching everything on the Golf Channel, and I realized this is it. I've now found my favorite week in golf, and it's the Masters. And I guarantee I'm not alone. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's always been my favorite week. I think it's the best major, and the reason why I believe that is because it's the only major that's at the same venue every single time, and
Yeah.
so now you can measure, this event to what past events were and what events will yet be to come, as opposed to let's say a U.S. Open, which is at a different venue. So would that same player have beaten so and so who played at that venue so many years ago? It's not as easy to do, and sometimes those venues change
Yep.
over the years for because they lengthen the course, they'll change bunkering, they'll do all different types of things. The Masters has had some changes, but nothing that's so outrageous that you can't even recognize it.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's at the same course every year, and I like both. I like the fact of other tournaments that are at different courses all the time because and they're at public courses, and that's great for the public golfer because you get these groups of people that want to go and play all of these different U.S. Open venues,
Yep,
and they
that
get to
too.
say they played these, and that's great, and I love that. But then you got the other side, which is the Masters. And just as you said, which is a great thing, it's the same course every single year, the same thing every year. And you get to compare what Sergio did last year compared to what Tiger did. And these things are just the same thing, only that really changes much is the weather.
Yeah,
And it's
true.
great.
It's true. It's
And
just tradition is what it is, and that's what I
Yeah.
think really gets people to really embrace that event.
The only thing I wish is that it was a public golf course. That would be great. Raise the rates, make them $500, make them $600, make it whatever. But it would be really cool if it was a public golf course, or even it being this super exclusive private club is maybe if they opened up one day a month or one day every 2 months for the public to come out and play. Something like that would be fantastic. If you hear me, Masters people, that's my idea. It would be great. You can make a huge list of people that would want to come and play this. It would be 10, 15-year line of people waiting to play, and it would be great, but they don't. But, the other thing about the Masters was on Saturday when we were watching it last year, there was a guy that was playing golf, playing with Jason Day, and we're looking, and everybody's talking about this guy. Nobody knows who he is. And then he was the marker. And I think his first name was Gary. I guarantee his last name was Knox. I think it was Gary. And he's played in like 10, 12 Masters already. So when there's an odd number, this guy gets to go and play golf at the Masters. And he doesn't keep score, but he has beaten Rory, supposedly, that he beat Rory, and he's beaten some other guys. And it was cool watching that guy go out and play and be the marker for Jason Day. And hopefully this year there's going to be an odd number, because I'd love to see him out there again, because it's always him, and it's going to be cool. I love it.
Some neat stuff. So before we go, just give us that website one more time.
Sure. It's More Golf Today, and More is just M-O-R-E, moregolftoday.com. You can get a lot of stuff on the site, but besides the deals, the most important part of our podcast today is that sweepstakes for sending you to the Masters. It's going to be somebody, and trust me, it's going to be somebody. It can be you. So moregolftoday.com, on the right side of the homepage, there will be a banner ad that's going to talk about our sweepstakes. Just click on that, fill out the form, tell all your friends about it, because you get bonus entries. And once you're on the site, and once you get all of our emails, you'll see all of these other areas that you can enter. And you can enter on each of these once a day. So we're going to have it on Facebook. We're going to have it on Instagram, Twitter. We have a couple other sites that are going to have it. And the only way to find out about those is to sign up for our deal alerts, and we'll let you know about all of them. And when somebody wins, they're very skeptical, because we're giving away these great trips, and every person I call, I could hear it in their voice, like, is this real? Am I being joked? Am I being punked? And it's like, no, you really just won a trip to the Masters. So it can be you. It's going to be somebody. So hopefully it's going to be somebody on this podcast.
That's awesome. So Jason, thanks again for being with us today. And like we always say in parting, do your best until we meet again to try to keep it in the short grass.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank all your fans. And I look forward to speaking to you soon, and maybe getting down to Naples and playing some golf.
Sounds good. All right. Take care.
Thanks.
You've been listening to Breaking Par with your host, Bernard Sheridan. Follow us on Twitter @BreakingPar and on Facebook @Par Breakers Golf Academy. Until next week, try to keep it on the short grass.